Here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
All day, baby, all day. Ready? Defense wins championships, baby. Go. 80 weapon. 80 weapon.
On first down, Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes dancing to his left. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 36. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give him 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
You got tight. You got tight. You got tight.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Check 13. Check 13. Whip, 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 whip. Wage 3, 2, 18. Chopper, chopper. Ready.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Khalil Mack. And this defense holds firm here on the opening drive of the night. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball on the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20 because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He has just been alone for opposing offenses to account for now 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do? Take away all the alleys, right? They range deep and make a whole lot of great catches.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. A big play there on the catch and run. 47 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
Throwing now is Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Chandler Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Going to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today. Right. So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Mahomes now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. Looking downfield for Godwin. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down. Murray sets to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Murray going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. James has got it. Complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Murray. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
You can't block me. Like it, lock it. That's right, baby. They don't want it. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Go.
Operating from the red zone now. Mahomes steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
He's out of bounds at the 14-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Exit. I got it. Mike 8. We're ready to go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Wide open receiver complete. A very solid gain of 27. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Marquise Goodwin. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Browns 10, Steelers 0.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned,
and that's caught inside the 30. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now here's Mahomes, eluding the press. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. The point after is good, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Quinnen Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And that's complete to Cooks. That's good for 28 yards.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Change the mic. Change the mic. Stay with your man.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to skip the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Right back to him on first down. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Tucker's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game, his 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football, So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there, 21 yards. To throw is Mahomes. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Throwing again on second and 10. Mahomes. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Deebo Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. As they have now chopped this lead down to 3. The extra point up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand. That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33.